What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is ASA Studio channel for music producers and photographers and so much more. Here we are in Capture One, and I'm going to be showing you how to edit your portrait and blend skin tones easily in Capture One. So let's get started. I've chosen a perfect picture for the tutorial, and I just want to show you my workflow of how to achieve that you see on your thumbnail. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this very easy and simple because I'm going to be using layers, which is a very important tool in Capture One in order to make the photo undestructive or non-destructive. Okay, so this is what we're going to be trying to achieve. We're trying to blend the skin tones. You can see under our armpit here and also under armpit here, we're trying to blend the skin tones, and you can see that most of the skin tones are lighter at this part than the other part, but we want to blend all the skin tones together. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try to create a new empty adjustment layer just over this block sign, and then pick up the magic brush tool, and I'm going to select a skin where we actually want to blend with the skin, so that it will be the same with somewhere around here and somewhere around here. So let's select the dark part somewhere right here, but you can right click and increase the refine edge, and then the tolerance you can take it all the way up. All right, I think we're good. So I'm going to select now. So as you can see, I've selected the part and which is showing in red. I'm just going to increase more of the selection. I'm going to right click and then increase the refine edge all the way up, and this time increase the tolerance, and then I'm going to select more of the darker areas of the photos. So let's click somewhere around here and then look at what Capture One is going to add to it. Okay, I'm going to zoom out and then add somewhere here also, so we have a smooth transition. Okay, so this side too, and then we have that. I'm going to include this side part of the and include this side with it. Okay, so selecting. Okay, now that we have those places selected, oh, we forgot this side. I'm going to click this place and this side. Okay, so we have something to deal with. Okay, so now we have this. I'm going to rename this one Skin 1 Dark, which is the first skin treatment we're going to be doing. So I'm going to hit M on the keyboard, and then we're back to normal, but the selection is still there. You can see pressing M, we actually toggle on and off the selection. I'm going to go to the exposure tool. This is the exposure tool right here, this one, and then you can see the exposure and eye dynamics. So let's take down the layer, and now just because this place is the dark part of our skin, we're going to increase the blacks, which is a black, not the shadow. This side is actually the shadows, so you can see. So we're going to touch the shadows and the black just a little bit, not too much. So let's start with the shadows first, increase it to 10. Let's increase the black to 10, and then let's see before and after. So bring down the layer and then see the before and then the after. So I'm going to still do more of that, so just one by one. Let's increase the black again, like 19, and let's increase the shadows like somewhere around 15. So I'm going to hit on and off, and I don't want it to look, so you can see what's actually going on. That is creating a smooth transition with that. Okay, so I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to bring this back, the blacks, to 15 too, and take this down back a little, like 13, so we have a smooth transition. Okay, so let's go back to the editor, color editor, and you can get that on this one, color, and we'll go to color editor. Now we're going to pick on the eyedropper tool and then select where we want the color to look like. In this case, I want it to look like this, so I'm going to drag it. Just click that place to sample it, left click, and then drag it out, and then go to the uniformity tab and increase the hue of it, so you start getting that feel together just a little bit. And then the saturation, we're just gonna get that done in a minute. Okay, let's increase the lightness to blend in the lightness a little. And imagine me doing that. I'm trying to get it to look like this. Forget about the way it's actually looking a little bit different right now. We're going to get that done, fixed in a minute. So let's increase this again. Remember, we're trying to blend it like this side. All right, increase the saturation, and let's leave the lightness alone this time around. Let's blend the saturation so to the end, to the end. Okay, so let's create one more adjustment. Yeah, this is okay. One more adjustment, empty adjustment, and then we're going to select all the photo this time around, all our skin tones. So let's go. All right, so I've selected our skin. I'm just going to rename this layer to skin all 2. Okay, selection of skin all 2. Don't mind the way I rename it, just to make it's just for the tutorial. So let's zoom in and let's erase it from some parts. Increase, select the eraser tool for erasing the mask, and let's hit M on the keyboard so we can see where we're erasing it from. And this time the eyes, so without looking, hitting M on the keyboard, I'm erasing it from the eyes, from where I'm gonna, from the lips. Okay, just like that. And which other place you feel is actually necessary or think that's actually okay. Now let's go down and see. So I'm gonna erase it from the iron. You see there, that's not part of it. Okay, all right, so now we're good, not bleeding anywhere. Okay, let's go to the color now again, and then pick a sample. From there I'm gonna select this tool, pick this sample, and this time around let's increase the uniformity of the hue all the way up. I'm gonna increase the uniformity of the saturation, and see it has actually blended that, but that's too much. Okay, let's leave it like this. I'm gonna increase the uniformity of the lightness just to make blend the together. All right, so we can take this up also just a bit, 1.5, and the saturation just a bit in 1.5. Okay, now this is where things, let's reduce this to make it look more natural. Okay, now this is where things get pretty good. Just this hue, sometimes I like taking it backwards for melanin skin, but for chocolate skin you can also try taking it forward, but I like taking it forward for fair skin. But I just want to get the chocolate feel like this, and if you take it to the right you see what I'm talking about. So taking it to the right, and you can see the difference of what we actually did. Okay, so this is actually good, and I love the photo like this. And then after this we can take it to Capture One, Photoshop rather, and then use frequency separation to blend the skin tones more and more. I'm going to go back to the exposure, and we can bring up the black if we want more details, and also the shadows if you want more, but that's too much, just around 4. And this one I'm gonna put that to 10. Hit enter. All right, so one last one is for the background. Create an empty layer, and then I want to select the background. So for the background we're going to pick this magic brush tool, and then we're going to make selection of the background. All right, so the selection of the background has been made. I'm going to add this to it, so it's going to select that more. All right, so now this is what I want to do. Let's get it off our body and this side. I don't want to see it there on our body, so you know what to do. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to continue that. Okay, so now hit M on the keyboard. I'm going to go to where the shadow highlight is, bring it down, bring the white, bring it down, the shadows, bring it down, and then the blacks, bring it down, but not too much. Okay, so somewhere around here. Let's go up. The saturation is where I'm going to focus on, and then I'm going to bring it all the way down like this. Okay, so you can also decrease the contrast and not the exposure, but if you feel like you want to make things a little bit darker, you can actually do that. But I feel the ash ways all interesting, all looking good. Okay, so bringing down the blacks the more, yeah, to get things. Now I'm focusing on making our hair look like the background. So I'm gonna hit M on the keyboard, and then I'm gonna add the tip of our hair with the brush too. So let's just increase the brush and then paint over our hair just like a little bit. Okay, so let's hit M on the keyboard. Okay, that's too much. Ctrl Z, just the tip of our hair, somewhere around the tip of our hair like this. Okay, so this one like that. Yeah, not to blend them together, and somewhere there. Okay, so you can actually decrease the blacks for that. Okay, and the shadows, and this time let's decrease the saturation. And let's see, I want it to blend with the skin. Okay, let's increase the shadows a bit and increase the black a bit. All right. So that is that on the exposure. I'm gonna take it all the way up. Okay, so one last thing is a final adjustment layer, new fill adjustment layer, and this one I'm going to say background, RUND, and for this one I type final adjustment. So this should be for the saturation and exposure. So I'm going to increase the highlight on that, for that, and then increase the whites just a bit to get more. I'm going to take back the blacks, take back the shadows to create more contrast. I want to increase the saturation to give it a little bit more saturation. I'm going to increase the, we can use the contrast or we can use the curves, but I don't like the curve. I like the contrast for this one. Just a quick edit, and let's close that. Let's close this as well. Go to clarity. Let's get some structure to increase the structure, so, and I'm going to go to the curve if we like, and you can see, so we bring this down a little bit. I'm going to take this up, and I'm going to go to the vignetting and just give it a little bit amount of vignette from the sides. Okay, you can take it down, but I don't want the down part, I want the one. Let's reset, take it up like so to get something like that. Alright, so we can go to the color editor, which is the last part. I'm not going to touch anything there. I'm just going to go to the color balance, and you can use the master, but this is actually meant for color grading. But I think I'm going to take it to Lightroom to complete that part of the edit. Alright, so if you like the video, this is where we're gonna stop. Thumbs up if you like the video. If you're new and you enjoy the things, we actually share the content, you can subscribe and turn on the notification button to get notified whenever we're going to post any photo. So let's turn on our before and our after. So you can see our before and then our after, our before and then our after. If anyone's actually too much, you can actually go back and decrease it. So I feel like you can see the little changes from the before and then the after. Okay, so this, if the skin one is actually too much, before and then the after. Alright, so take this on skin 2, you can decrease the opacity a bit to make it look natural. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. See you in our next video. Thank you.